privilege of being videoed today. Hello. Hello. Anyone there? Knock, knock. Not yet. It's 2:30 p.m. and it's 8 p.m. Come on, ladies. Make your appearance. Say hi. I can only read. Hello. No one? No one yet? Oh, it's a shame. Come on, ladies. 1, 2, 3. All right, I can see someone there. Say hi. All right, I'll start off because we have got quite a few things to catch up today. Welcome to session number 18. Session number 18 is all about sarees and women's mental health and well-being. As you all know, women's mental health is very important. Okay, women play a very important role in the family, taking care of everyone in the family, and self-neglected in the end, that is what causes mental health for women. So we are talking about mental health issues and at the same time how we can maintain it and take self-care about that. And today I'm presenting Mrs Seemitha Harekoppa from Sydney, talking about women's mental health and well-being. Before I do that, let me just tell you all about my sari today. Today's drape is a Kosa silk sari. Kosa silk, as you all know, is from Chhattisgarh and it has got sheer texture and it's very lightweight and the silk is very sturdy. So this is what the sari is, and that's just paired with a beautiful brocade blouse to match with that, and pearl set to go with that, and leopard print sandals, and the potli bag for today is an Indian style potli bag to go with that, a perfect match for my mustard colored sari. So this is the sari for today, and there are so many Hindi songs which makes us feel good, like, you know, for our mental health well-being. Basically, we all kind of like, you know, engross ourselves with the busy life schedule every single day and neglect our self-care. And music is often like, you know, the only one which we kind of think, oh yeah, it's very kind of like, you know, appealing and it's very relaxing. And there are so many songs which are pertaining to health and well-being. And there are some feel-good songs as well. For example, like the Kannada one, you know, the Rajkumar song, which is oh, sorry, I just missed that. So that song is really so apt for this age. And the other one is from Swadesh. Yu hi chala chal rahi. Oh, I've forgotten the wordings. So that Swadesh song is also so beautiful. It's about a traveler and, you know, the health and well-being and everything. Anyway, let me just stop at this, and surprisingly, I've got Seemitha here. Seemitha, come on. And I have to acknowledge Seemitha's daughter, Apeksha, who is taking our video. Thank you very much. Sit up, Apeksha, it's not
Hi, Amaka.
Hi,
everyone. Hello. I'm wearing a Brussels saree with a thin jari border today, and I'm wearing this color. This is my favorite color. Red is my favorite color, and color. I like, because I like to be bright wherever I go, so I always wear bright colors.
Excellent. So I'll hand over the floor to Seemitha. She will take over and just give us 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, a few seconds. We'll just sit and we will start continuing our conversation, and she's going to explain all about mental health and well-being, and how we can maintain that and at the same time be resilient and continue with our daily activities. Yeah?
As you know, today we will be talking about women's mental health and well-being. It's a very apt subject because we are in Australia celebrating the Mental Health Week in general. So it is very much a privilege to talk about this topic today because I also work in the area of mental health, and I really want to show my gratitude and thank you to Hemaka for giving me this opportunity, and the Saree group for giving the opportunity for me to express my experience and views on how to manage and maintain women's mental health and well-being. I'll just start talking about it. As you know, mental health is a person's condition about one's psychological and emotional self. So everybody is different when it comes to their own emotions and maintaining their psychology as such, because everybody lives in a different kind of scenarios. Everybody's life is different. Women actually experience more rate of mental health at some point of their life than men actually, because we go through a lot of different stages in life, and that every stage has its own challenges. For example, for us women in Indian culture is getting married, going into somebody's life, you know, and not just somebody as a person, it's a family as a person. So that itself has challenges, and that comes with a lot of resilience and, you know, experiences and positivity that we have to have. So that 1 in 6 women actually experience some kind of depression in their life, and 1 in 3, which is very shocking, women experience anxiety in their lifetime at some point. And that is the Australian survey. It is more the Australian survey. Okay. And when we're talking about mental health, it's not actually a lot of the serious things that we're talking. Even if it is depression, anxiety, these are everyday experiences that we go through, and sometimes we just want to not acknowledge it and just rub it off and move on with life. You know, sadness, and I think with COVID and pandemic going on around us, it's everybody feels some sort of nervousness, some sort of sadness
there's so much pressure with each and every one.
And changes into our lifestyle altogether actually, because we're all working from home. You know, for women who are going out, it's kind of a break to go to the office and, you know, work from the office, but now we're all stuck at home, working from home, being a teacher, you know, being a mother, being a wife, being a daughter-in-law, or whatever role you play, you have to fit all that in under one roof. That is a pressure by
because
itself.
Women are always multitasking, and you know, we have got that so much built up within us. We try to continue our job, all kind of, you know, taking into consideration all the factors.
And and that is why it's very, very high in this like for me itself, I've got so many referrals, and most of them are women coming just because they're going through these challenges in life. So it is very, very important that we look after ourselves in order to look after the entire family, which depends on us. When we are talking about women experiencing mental health, I think most of the time it is what they have, the research shows is that during pregnancy, when you're going through motherhood for the first time, and menopause are the triggers that women may get into experiencing some kind of depression, anxiety. It's also, when you talk about depression, anxiety, they are actually now very common kind of mental health issues. If you are talking about more serious ones, there are eating disorders, personality disorders, bipolar and PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and we are when it gets very serious, it gets into psychotic disorders. So I don't want to go more deeper into
that's all right. Just touching base.
Yes. So it is very important as women we look after ourselves first, and self-care, our well-being is the most important thing, and I am very, very passionate about that, and I like to empower everyone, whether you are a stay-at-home mom, whether you are caring for someone, or whether you are multitasking with different roles in your life. Doesn't matter where you are at life, everyone needs to look after themselves on the same level, and that is very, very important. And there are a few things that you can do to look after yourself is having a balanced life, being grounded. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves as women to be perfect in each role that we play.
Starting from morning till evening, we are just kind of like so much grounded in our daily activity, with home domestic chores, and again you go to work, you manage work there, and you come back, you have to again balance the lifestyle, you have to work with
continuously. There is no stopping unless you want to stop for a minute.
Correct.
So everybody wants you to keep going.
That's
because
correct.
That is what is being understood, I think, because we have so much energy, or we can give so much, and if you think about it, there are times that we need a break as well. And I understand, I'm working, I'm a mother, and I have to look after the house and everything, but I think at this stage and today's pandemic world, it is more than ever important that we look after ourselves. Everybody is going through nervousness, uncertainty, unknown, men, women, all ages, but I think as women, we have to look after ourselves so we can look after everybody else.
That's correct.
In our life.
Yeah, that's so true. Very true. Yes. So I've got a few questions for you, Seemitha. Can you shed some light on balanced lifestyle given the current state of pandemic and whatever is happening at the moment? It's more like work-life balance in the modern terminology, and how you can kind of maintain that, and at the same time focus on whatever you do. How do you do that?
Balance of life is very, very important. But again, how you balance your life is a very individual, depends on every individual, because everybody is different in their own level of experiences where they are at life. Some can balance it very well, and some actually struggle a lot. And when you continuously struggle, that is when you can experience depression or anxiety or just a sadness, prolonged sadness, so if you are ever feeling these things, always remember there is always help. Whether it's in Australia or whether it's in India, anywhere in the world, there is always help, so don't suffer. The one thing I really want to put across as a message today is, please don't suffer silently. Whether it's you're talking to a friend, whether it's talking to a professional, make sure you talk to someone. Balanced life means understanding what you want in life, or where you are at life. You want to be a mother. What are the things that you need to look after? Looking after yourself is the first thing that you do, and balanced life brings out, the roles that you play, and in that, how you manage yourself in that role. Because women are the backbone of every family. You break, everything breaks around you. So balanced life is not just, I'm not just saying, you balance your life, after 6 o'clock, I'm not going to work, I'm not doing anything because I need to be resting and doing all that. It's not like that. It's about where you stand, what are the roles you're playing, and what do you want to play, what is important for you. When you put yourself first and when you look after yourself, it just balances itself.
But at the same time, the family also have to be cooperative.
That is the other thing I was coming into, is sharing the load. Everybody has to share the load. And I don't mean just the chores, I mean the emotional load as well. When it comes to facing something or experiencing something, we all experience very differently. Some can be very sensitive, some are not so sensitive, and some might be very, for someone it might be very silly and it doesn't mean anything, but for someone it actually affects a lot. So sharing that load in the family is very important. Where for example, between husband and wife, if the wife is going through something, then husband step up and share that emotional load, be there as a supportive thing. But if wife is stronger than husband, then wife stands up, and so sharing the load is very important. And when you are sharing the load, women feel very guilty about sharing the load. That's where we think, if we let that my husband or my in-laws to do or my kids to do, then I'm not perfect. That is the pressure we put on ourselves. So it is us who is making that kind of decision or putting that load on ourselves. So it's okay. Today I'm not able to do this thing. It is as simple as that. Something very simple. But I'm not in a situation or in that mindset to go through that today. But that's okay, when we stop putting pressure on ourselves, when we don't expect a lot on ourselves, then we are okay to share that load. So it's not just about physical work, it's about how you are emotionally and your feelings and everything else as well.
So family cohesion is very important.
Very, very, very important. And that cohesion happens when you also let it happen.
So there's a little bit of give and take.
So the first thing I always tell to parents who come is, stop feeling guilty. If you can't do that to your child one time, that's okay. You're not doing any crime, But where we pressure ourselves and do it, we are actually focusing negative on ourselves and on people who depend on us as well.
What if the husband is also kind of experiencing, the mental state not being okay, and even they have depression? How will that family kind of cope? It's very difficult, isn't it? Because men kind of express it in a different way. They are not the same way as we express. The women express. So it's very different. So what would you suggest for that one?
Yes, definitely. When it comes to mental health, men are probably the last people to come to help. It's a lot of reluctance. It's just probably the feeling of weakness, or if I get help or if I acknowledge that I have this, then it might come, because they are seen as a role of...
Do you see ego being there?
Little bit of ego hurt as well, because it's not in a bad way. I think it's because they see themselves as someone who needs to be a rock for the family, and I can't be weak, it's that way. And it doesn't matter whether women or men, if you are caring for someone with mental health issues, it takes a toll on everyone in the family. And more so you need counseling than the person actually who is diagnosed with mental health issues, because it is an ongoing issue, and it takes a lot on that person. Because that person with mental health issues is not reacting or acting to certain situations because they are not able to make that decision, or it is not in their control the way they behave, you know.
Hard, isn't
so
it?
Yes, it is very hard because you copy. You know, so it's very, very difficult. As you said, if men are going through depression, husband is going through depression, obviously it will take a lot on women or a wife, because the wife has to then step up and manage, play a little bit of a role as the father to the kids as well, and manage it, and you know, the stigma attached to it and everything else. But only thing I would say is get help. Get help, you know. You can talk to your family members, you can talk to whoever you think, friends and whatever, but I think professional help is very much needed. Not that you have mental health issues, it's just because you are caring for someone and it is taking a lot from your energy and your emotions and feelings.
So Seemitha, you have worked a lot with kids with disability and autism and everything. So like, what would that kind of like be an impact on the parents, and plus the kid, obviously the kids kind of like, you know, sometimes they are really, really intelligent and they would be able to see what's happening. Sometimes the kids won't be able to kind of like, you know, even see what's happening. And it kind of takes a toll on the parents. Like, what would be that scenario for, you know, the parents to step up and do something?
When it comes to children, yes, I work a lot and my main area of work is disability. And I work with kids with autism, ADHD, and it is a very challenging lifestyle that every family with those children play. They're isolated in many ways, they have very less friends, they're isolated from their own families, because acceptance is very hard. So I say that there is a lot of pressure on the mother when it comes to these things, because the first thing is accepting it and understanding it that she hasn't done anything wrong in the child to be diagnosed in those areas, and accepting that is a very hard bit for a mother, because everybody I diagnose autism, and when I diagnose, it's the way we tell it to the mother, because they take it very personally. It straight away goes to the mind that did I do anything wrong?
Exactly, a child is a child for a mother, isn't it?
Yes, and it straight away goes to that point as, did I do anything wrong? Or did I do anything wrong when I was pregnant? Did I eat something wrong? Or, you know, straight away it goes to that. And that is the other bit, and a very important thing that I wanted to talk also about grieving. You know, grieving is, you grieve in many ways. You grieve for too many things. You know, you can grieve for whatever it is in your life. You know, it doesn't have to be always somebody died. I see.
But normally grievance is always associated with death, isn't it?
Yes. But I also see a lot of mothers grieving when their child is diagnosed with any kind of disorders. Because they as I said, it's just personal stuff for them. They straight away take it as something wrong that I did, you know. So they go through the stages of grieving, and until they go through the stages of grieving and accepting the fact, sometimes it takes long time, sometimes it takes less time. But when we are also talking about, just because we're talking about grieving, I wanted to also bring up that a lot of grieving is happening around us now because of COVID
and the pandemic,
uncertainty, unknown, you know, the nervousness around what is going to happen tomorrow. So we are all in that edge, we are sitting on an eggshell, and a lot of people have lost a lot of the loved ones in the recent times. We keep hearing these things, and it is a very, very hard thing to go through. And the hardest thing is that because the rituals that we are not able to do with COVID situation, you know, not able to follow those rituals, the process. And I've read a lot about Indian rituals about death, and this is all is done for us. The rituals are all a grieving process. You know, we keep the body at home, we cry in front of it. These are all the process of the grieving. You know, you cook whatever they like. You know, you celebrate.
That's
and,
right.
You know, you grieve, you mourn for certain days, and you know, and please continue to do that. You know, grieve as long as you want to grieve. You know, cry as much as you want to cry. Talk about it as much as you want to talk about them, and celebrate them. You don't have to hide it. You don't have to not show your emotions.
It has to come out.
It does. Because then if you, because that is when you, so grieving has different stages in it. So the grieving first is denial. You don't accept it. You're in denial. You're not. Then that is why we witness it. You know, so that is why it is helping us to accept it. You know, I'm not like, you know, with COVID, a lot of people are gone. Like they might not have any of problems at all, like health issues or whatever, you know, and they're not there, and that is a hard bit to accept, you know, and it is becoming even more harder to accept because you don't go through the process
at all
with them, like you don't,
especially in India, like whatever is happening, you know, they don't even give the body, which is very sad.
That is the
hardest part, because you know, you kind of like have some memory, and the memory is like a memory, it doesn't kind of like fade
and
away.
Also your family, your relatives are not able to come visit you. You know, it's okay. You know, even if there is a lot of technology and all that, but they're not able to come and, you know, be with you, or you know that kind of grieving is also not happening. So that is the hard bit. So grieving is what we see a lot happening now, and take time and grieve and cry or talk or celebrate in whatever ways you want.
Actually, I was just reading an article about the grievance process, and this couple, they were married for about 60 years, and the husband passed away. The husband was 89, I think. And the family, what they came up with an idea was a shirt, like, you know, the person who passed away, like, you know, they came up with, like, they pulled out all the shirts of his, like, you know, whatever he was wearing, and they came up with the idea of stuffing it up with a teddy bear, like, you know, giving the form of a teddy bear with all the cut out of the shirt, and then stuffing it with, like, you know, whatever the synthetic stuff, and it was like a teddy bear with different, it was like a quilt, which was like, you know, with different shapes and, you know, different checks and everything. And I thought it was such a great idea, like, you know, because you kind of like own that, and it's such a great remembering thing for the family. So it was a brilliant idea. Perhaps, like, you know, talking about sarees, probably, like, you know, whoever has passed away, like, you know, you can use it in so many ways, and you can still feel the warmth and, you know, the love of the loved ones. So you can bring it to so many creative activities.
In whatever ways you want to grieve, you know, because don't hide it, and don't think that you can't express it. Very, very important.
And we were talking about friends, like, you know, what do friends role in the process of, like, you know, being you know, mentally strong and everything? Do they play any role?
Yes, I mean, we are human beings and very social beings, and that is why we are struggling now, because we can't be with friends and do whatever we do with friends, or go out, or have, you know, do all those, that was the normal stuff for us, to enjoy ourselves and, you know, and make that friendship happen, you know. So friends are very, very important, because what is a friend? Friend is someone that you actually talk to and express all your feelings without any hesitation. It is very important you have one or two those kind of friends. So when you make friends of your own age, or somebody who is going through similar experiences in life, or in the same stage of your life. Yes. So you make friends of your own mindset. So it is very important that you share something with your friends. You manage that. Feelings and emotions are continuously expressed and spoken about in friendship. And friends are nothing but, what friends do is kind of a counseling for each other. So it is important you have a friend who you can call up any time of the day. It doesn't matter night or morning. She's there for you whenever you want. So that is very, very important, and that is very much tested in today's world, because you know who your real friends are when it comes to COVID situation. Yes, it is very important. But also check on each other. Don't just say we don't have to do anything, or we are going fine with ourselves, we are busy in our life or whatever. Check on each other how things are going. That is what friendship is. Know that if you haven't heard from that person, is there everything all right? So that is very, very important, and that's what I say is friendship.
Okay. Do you want to say anything more about
I just want to say that have a me time. Me time doesn't always needs to mean that you need to go shopping or watch a movie with friends, or kitty parties or anything like that. Me time just means having a quiet time for yourself. I do it like beginning of the day. I get up and have 5 minutes to myself, whatever that is. That keeps you grounded. That keeps you ready for the day. Because there are a lot of challenges that come every day. So you're ready to face it. When you feel grounded, you feel like I'm ready for whatever it throws at me. So it is very important you have a me time for yourself, whether you have a cup of coffee with yourself, saying what you see for yourself, what you're going through, acknowledging what you're feeling, and looking at what emotions I'm feeling. Am I ready for this day? What do I need for it? And having that time is very important. And understand that what empowers you, understand what makes you feel smile and happy at the end of the day. And doing those kind of things is very, very important to maintain your well-being in general. Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to shed some light? You already told me about grievance, and what about equal opportunity for maintaining our good health and relationship?
Equal opportunity is that, what I mean is having it's not just about I give. I also need to take some time off. I need to look after myself. And that comes with the most important thing for anybody's mental health is eating well, exercising, and sleeping. Sleeping is the most important thing, and that is what we lack in today's life, I would say. Because of technology, it might be because of the stress we go through, the anxiety we go through. Switching off is becoming a very, very hard part. And that is what we have to teach our kids to, wind up, switch off, build that resilience. I would say as a woman, as an empowering part of this society, build resilience in your family. That's the biggest gift you would ever give to your kids, So it's okay to say no, and it's okay to bring them to the point where, I can't have it, and that's okay. Accept it and move on. We won't get everything in our life because kids are learning to get it very instantly now. Press of a button, everything is there at their doorstep. Build the resilience. It is very hard. When I'm talking about this, it sounds like it means nothing really, but when you actually start putting those things into practice, it's actually very challenging in today's world, because everything is so accessible. As women, as mother, I would say building resilience in our children is the biggest asset that we can do. And in ourselves too, in that way that it's okay if I can't do something. I am resilient, that tomorrow I'll be able to achieve that,
Yeah.
So my friend was actually saying yesterday, she works in Bangalore, she has a little kid, and she was saying that my performance is going so low at office that I'm actually a low performer in the office. And I was like, how does that make you feel? I was like, yeah, that's okay, because I'm doing a lot of other things. And they don't see that, that's the kind of resilience we want. We can't be shining in every area every time. Actually, what she's doing right now is she's actually focusing a lot. She's like, I'm okay because I'm actually able to focus a lot on my daughter, which I didn't get time to do before.
Yeah.
I was always running.
So there's a little bit of sacrifice in there.
Yes.
You sacrifice something to keep yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
When she's okay with that, then she probably will catch up with her office work and things like that. So we can't, that is what it is, the pressure that we put ourselves to be perfect in every role that we play, and sometimes we can't. And that is what resilience shows us, that it's okay to. Yeah. And we can move on from it, accept it, and tomorrow we are ready for another thing.
Yeah.
So having all those things, this is everyday life. This is not going to change. It is just very challenging right now, very challenging at this moment.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to say is take one day at a time. Today is what we focus. Tomorrow is what we look forward to. And when that tomorrow comes, we focus on that day, be positive. There is so much negativity going on around us. You hear, you have, want to see the news, you see all negative stuff.
Yeah.
So focus on positive, very, very important. Have a positive attitude to your life. Look after yourself, sleep, eat, exercise is the most important thing. There is restrictions as to how much you can do right now in India.
But at least you can walk, right?
You can walk, you can do something at home.
At home, exactly.
Yeah. Dance like me. I love dancing.
Yes.
So, and dance, and that gives you so much empower you, and you feel like, yes, I'm ready for
that's
whatever.
Correct. You're so more enthusiastic.
Yes. So whatever motivates you, just try and do and look after yourself. Remember, you come first, then everybody else comes. So that is very important to have our women's mental health positive, healthy, and going forward and looking after everyone who depends on us.
Yeah, it's very nice. Actually, it takes a lot of toll on the kids, and I have got Akanksha, Mrs Seemitha's daughter, videoing us. So she has heard everything. Probably she wouldn't have heard all of this. So, what do you think the parents should do, especially for the kids, to maintain the kids' balance as well?
You mean because now they're not going to school?
They are sometimes learning remotely, and I think the majority of the schools are back in action now. Yeah. But depending on the parent situation or the family situation, that also kind of impacts the kids. How could the kids kind of be strong mentally and support the parents in any other way? Probably she's of an age wherein she can realize what's happening. Probably the little ones won't be able to. So is there any way that the kids can also kind of take something from that particular thing and keep the parents intact and support them and everything?
You mean as I would say having more family time together. Giving time is what you can give to kids. Giving the attention, full attention. Whether it's we say we make a timetable. Friday is the movie day or whatever, and we wait for that Friday. It doesn't have to be like that. You just have to give. It's not about just you're giving time when you are actually making them study, or you are feeding them or whatever. The time I would say is what we do in our house is we sit on the table and eat dinner is always on the table.
Right.
And that is the opportunity that we all express what we went through today,
Yeah.
what was challenging, how did we manage, and my little one takes up a lot of the time, but we try and manage and talk about the challenges that we go through, how we managed as adults and as parents. And we would give them opportunity to express how would they manage that, you know. And it doesn't have to be big things, it's everyday life stuff. Like example, when you're coming home, you don't have a house key, what are you going to do? How are you problem solving? Those kind of things, you know. And we talk about, you know, what made you happy today, or, you know, those kind of simple things. Giving time is what I say is very important. When you give time, they also understand what emotions you're going through, and that you actually are not able to express much. They'll also sense that something is not right, you know, and they can actually come back and question you, or you know, give you that attention, and that is all you need, and that will probably fix a lot of the things, because sometimes we just lack that motivation or energy because we haven't had that attention given to us, you know. There are times that we go through our own you know, feelings and up and downs and things like that. It doesn't have to be about anything that's going around. It's just how we feel ourselves sometimes, you know. So yeah, I would say, you know, for kids, having balanced life is, you know, very difficult now. You know, you can't even send them out to play, or, you know,
because the upbringing of the kids, you know, here in, like, you know, in the Western countries, and as compared to India, it's very different. Like in India, everything is, oh, okay, you need not know anything about this, and the kids are just pushed aside. Like, you know, they don't kind of like step into the shoes to see, like, you know, what the parents are undergoing.
Yeah, I mean what you said. So I would say talk about your emotions. That's the best thing we can, you know, recognizing different emotions, you know, and it's okay to show anger. It's okay to. There are researchers saying that if parents actually show that they're upset about something openly, that's okay, because in life you will be upset about things. It's not like, you know, the more you bottle it up, it actually comes out in a very different way in your behaviors. So it's okay to tell them, I am upset, this is how I am reacting because I am upset about something, you know, how do we fix it? Talking very openly about emotions and what you're going through, that is what is important for kids to learn, different types of emotions and life experiences as such. Yeah.
All right, we'll try and wind up. Any take-home message?
Yeah, I mean, about mental health, you can talk
lots and lots.
Each topic you can talk about a lot of things. But what I say is, you know, depression, anxiety, sadness, nervousness, these are all very common things that we face in everyday challenges life throws at us. Don't hide it away, don't try to rub it off. You know, if you are feeling it for a prolonged time, and if you feel like I can't manage it on my own, I need something to fix this, then ask for help and, you know, get help, because there is help everywhere.
Each and every country has it.
Yes. And you know, you can also call anonymously, and you don't have to, you know, give your identity or whatever, you know, if you're not comfortable. But a lot of people are comfortable coming for counseling and things. And remember, counseling is nothing but just talking to someone, and someone that can listen and yes, it's all about that. Sometimes you don't even need any guidance. It's just sometimes what I'm doing is I'm just listening, and that's what they needed.
That's correct.
So please don't hide your emotions. If you're not feeling well, go and get help. You know, that is the take-home message. And as women, look after yourself. Self-care is very, very important. Sleep, eating well, and exercising. Yes.
Thank you so much, Seemitha, for coming over and doing this session. And I hope the ladies, I'm not sure how many are there, I hope you all enjoyed the talk and took some message home. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comment section. We'll try and answer that. If I'm unable to answer, I have got the practicing consultant here. She will be able to respond to your messages. So thank you, ladies. We will sign off. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you, Seemitha.
Thank you for listening and your time, and thank you, Emeka, for this opportunity.
Pleasure.
And yes, look after yourself.
Thank you.